In any kind of relationship, sacrifice is the major source of sustenance, and the true partners in relationship count how much effort they contribute to ensure sustenance of their relationships, and not how much they take from their relationships. Mr. Joe came back one evening from work very broken. He was relieved of his job because of conspiracy. He came back home to his wife, Mrs. Joe, who saw his mood and intended to make him relax first before asking questions. She took his suit and bag from him and walked him to the bed to sit down. This is one of the reception a man gets from his wife after the day's trouble that makes him feel like he has a friend to talk to. Mr. Joe explained to his wife how he was called to the office of his boss and got fired. He said that losing his job at this critical time is the worst thing that can happen to him because he has bills to pay. Next morning, a call came in from Mr. Joe's landlord and his wife picked the call. The voice of the caller was very unfriendly and the wife could not respond to him. She had to hand the phone over to her husband to answer. Mr. Joe already knew that the call was coming from his landlord. He asked the landlord to give him more time to raise his money for him, telling him that he just lost his job. Trust how some of these landlords react when your rent is due and you are asking for more time. Mrs. Joe was highly disturbed because of the house rent and some of the bills hanging on her husband's neck. She prepared one evening to go and meet her friend to discuss things out. Her friend is Chioma. Chioma was her classmate in the university. Mrs. Joe started complaining to Chioma. She told her everything that is happening to her and her husband presently. Finally, she asked her for help, but unfortunately, Chioma could not help. She started laying her own complaints too, and finally advised her to stop thinking about those bills. She told her that those bills are not for her to pay, that her husband should be the one thinking about bills, not her. She told her that her responsibility as a woman does not include paying of bills. She was angry because since their school days, she has been paying bills for her husband and stay continued in their marriage. All effort made by Mr. Joe to raise some cash from his friends failed. No one accepted to be of help to him, but his wife has decided to take a risky step to save her husband's face. She sat down thinking on how to go about things. Then she remembered something. She remembered that the young landlord has his eyes all over her, and she said to herself that this is the right time to give him a call. They fixed an appointment. She visited him and he took her into his own bedroom. He started making an attempt on her, but he was not expecting what she asked him to do. At first, he was surprised why she refused him. He tried touching her again, but she refused, and that has passed the information to Mr. Landlord that she came prepared. He asked her, why then did she come to visit him if she knew that she was not ready for him? She made a request. She told the landlord that she was not free for such at that moment. She promised the landlord to be back in 2 days as soon as she is free, and also requested that he should write her a payment receipt of the house rent if he wants her to return. Upon her request, the landlord wrote the receipt for her and handed it over to her. When she took the receipt, he wanted to leave immediately, but the landlord was still eager to have his way. She told him to calm down and she left the room. The trouble started when the husband observed that the landlord did not come to throw them and their properties away as he warned. He asked the wife what must have changed the landlord's mind. She was cold, but she has decided to show the husband the receipt. She bent down and brought the receipt out from the drawer and handed it over to the husband. When the husband laid his hand on the receipt, he was totally confused. Not only confused, he was shocked to see a house rent receipt of complete payment bearing the landlord's signature. The landlord cannot issue a payment receipt to his tenant without full payment. He asked the wife to explain to him how the payment was made, but she could not utter a word. Her silence made the husband to become angry, and he started accusing her of being unfaithful. He demanded that she must explain to him what went between her and the landlord that made him to write the receipt, or where she got the money for the payment. He threw the receipt at her and left. Could this be love? A wife accepted to make such a sacrifice in order to help to pay their house rent. After watching this video, please tell everyone what you think about such decision until we come back next Friday to see how the wife and the landlord finalized their agreement. Don't forget to share this video for others to learn. Please help us to pass this information around by sharing this video. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And make sure you turn on the notification bell for you to get our videos each time we post new videos. See you next Friday. Thank you for your support.